Hi everyone, and welcome to Billy Fitzgerald Golf. And today I want to go over why an inside takeaway is a problem. And first of all, what is too inside? So here I've got a stick that's angled. If I set up to my golf ball, it's angled pretty much in line with the shaft of the club. So that represents the plane or the line that I want the club to travel up and down on. So if my takeaway is too inside or underneath the plane, what that means is if I set up to my golf ball, I would take it underneath this plane here. So the first reason why it is a problem, why it's more difficult to play underneath the plane, is because it's hard to get the club back on the plane on the way down, much more so than if I was going the other way. So again, if I swing to the inside, pretty much the mistake always is take it from the inside and then we get way too over the top. So all the momentum in the face of the club, and I get really steep and I come across it. I usually take a pretty good size divot because I'm so steep. If the face is shut, it goes way left. If it's open, it goes high and to the right. It's not a solid shot. It doesn't go very far and it doesn't go where I'm aiming. So that's why it's a problem. So if you struggle with that, there's a couple reasons why that this could be happening. Before we get into that, I want to connect it to another sport so it's easier for you to see why we would not want to come back from the inside and then over the top. We probably know that we don't want to come over the top, but I think the idea that most people have is that I know I want to hit this ball from the inside. I don't want to hit it from the outside. So if I start in setup and I start by taking it from the inside, isn't it going to be easier for me to hit it from the inside? Well, yes and no, but if you can hit it from the inside that way, but it's going to go straight right because you're so far under this plane that we'll refer to quite a bit. The other thing is that you're only going to hit it over to the right a few times until you try to correct that and come over the top of it. And now we're really lost. We're not sure what to do. So in other sports, if I grab a tennis racket, set the club down here for a second. If the tennis ball is coming at me, what's going to happen is the racket's going to go back. Okay, the racket's going to go back so I can line the racket back up with the ball. So again, my arm is going to line up with this racket with the face, so I can make maybe a slightly to the inside contact or path into the ball, but not way to the inside because I would hit it over there. I wouldn't get it on the court where I need to go over the net. So that's why the path is easier to make the racket go out and shallow back in and hit the tennis ball. It'd be the same thing if you were, again, in baseball. If I'm here and I'm getting ready for the pitch, once I'm getting ready for the pitch, see the bat goes up this way and then it shallows and then I hit the ball. It's the same thing in golf. So those are very similar, obviously concepts in both those sports. So we see a lot of these sports, they cross over and we can learn a lot from it. So the very first thing I would check is your grip. Because of how my arm hangs in its shoulder socket. So again, if my arm hangs down, this is how my arm, it's always trying to get in that position. So if you have a weak grip, in other words, your hand doesn't look like this on the club. If my hand is weak this way, it's always trying to get in line with these joints. So if I set up to this ball and I have a weak grip, my arm is probably going to twist. It's trying to get in line with these joints. So this hand goes this way, so my trail arm goes this way, my palm starts to face out here, and this hand goes way inside, and now I'm underneath the plane with an open face, and now I'm going to come over the top. That's why I see a lot of very weak right driver shots, especially to people that are just starting out in the game. So the first thing, again, that I would have you do is take your grip, get it in the fingers, place your hand on top so you get a nice secure grip, and then your trail hand goes right on the side. Now if I lever back, you can see that this lever wants to line up with the face. So if I go to my golf ball again and lever the face back, I've got no problem. Now my right hand is working very different. This lever system is working very different. So it's much easier for me to start the club back online. So if your grip is correct and we just have a, we tend to just roll the face open, we just roll our arms, and that's one of the big reasons is that we're trying to hit it from the inside and everything starts rolling. Here's how my right arm acts in the swing, my trail arm. As my trail arm works back, like I would shoot a basketball or throw a ball, I'm just doing it down here. So my right arm is working this way. So if my arm stays stable and I swing back, and my left arm's working this way. So if I just make my arms work correctly, again, the face of the club won't roll in. Most people that are under the plane, this right arm is rolling in. Okay, so if we need a drill or something to help you feel what the face of the club is, again, if we take it back to baseball, and the baseball's coming in, see the bat goes up this way, and it goes out this way and comes around so it can shallow in. And that's what I would prefer, that the feeling of the pitcher you have, if you're coming from the inside, is more of a loop. So the face of the club, and this is what I see a lot more of with the more accomplished player. A heck of a lot more than inside of it, trying to get it on the plane. What I see more of is more outside and then back down on the plane. That's much easier to repeat that. If you're not strictly up and down the plane line, if you're gonna make an error on the way back, I'd rather feel, and I see this way more, is that it's a little bit more, and then because as you transition and your body changes direction, the club is naturally going to want to go back down. So if I get ready to go and I swing back and I change direction, see, the club is naturally going to want to shallow out when I change direction. So if you're going to err, that's why I want you to feel like it's maybe a little bit more to the outside and let the club shallow out. So the drill that Mr. Flick taught me a long time ago, and this was before him, was the hinge drill or the Seve drill. It's been around for a long time before me, and it'll be around for a long time after me. So all you want to do, make sure you get your hands on the club right. So again, in the fingers with your lead hand, and then trail hand goes on top, and all we're going to do is lever the club up so the face of the club gets above my hands, and then we're going to basically hit it like a baseball. Okay, so if I lever the face up and it's above my hands here, right? So now I want to feel like as I swing back, the face of the club stays out, and again, as I transition, the face of the club goes down. So if I made a few practice swings here and I lever the face, as I swing back, you can see how the face of the club, my left arm, as it pushes down on the golf club, my right arm's pushing up, the face is up, and then as I transition, the face comes back into the golf ball. So if I made a few practice swings, lever, back, and down, lever, back, and down. So you can see there's kind of a loop there. So if I go ahead and hit one, get my grip on there right. So again, I'll lever, and back, and down. Stick out in the way there a little bit. So those are all great ways to make sure, first is your grip, make sure your grip's right. So if I've got my hands a little bit stronger and I lever the face back, so my right hand can work correctly. That's a big reason I think that a lot of people take it to the inside. Their hand is too weak. The other thing that I would have you do is, again, even if you have a stick that you can put in the ground just to reference, and you can see when you take the face back, it's up and down, up and down. So you're kind of feeling that loop. So your hands begin to feel what it's like to have a little bit of a loop, so the golf club can work outside your hands and shallow back into the ball. So I hope you give this a try. And again, I'd first work with your grip, then work with how the club is working. It'll make the game so much easier. Yes, we do want to hit it from the inside, but taking it away from the inside is just not going to work out. So I hope this helps and you have a great summer. And this tip is going to sure, if you take it from the inside, it's going to help lower your scores and you're going to have more fun out there. Like and subscribe to my channel, Billy Fitzgerald Golf. Want to take a live lesson from me, or you have a question? Visit me at billyfitzgeraldgolf.com. And thanks for watching.